Hello. So let's start lying down. So bend up your knees, lift up your tail, tuck it under so you can roll down onto your back. Let your head rest so that the back of your neck can be long, chin slightly drawing into your chest. Bend your knees and take your feet about as wide as your mat. Turn your toes into the center. Let your knees drop into the middle. Make any little adjustments that you need to. So you can lie comfortably and then take your hands somewhere onto your body where it's comfortable so your shoulders and arms can relax. And close your eyes. And use this time to let your body really settle down into the floor. And each time you breathe out, try and let go a little more. Give in to gravity, and still here, make any movements to help you completely release downwards. And then take a big breath in and let it out any way you like. Couple more like this. Big breath in and let it all out. Once more. And out. And then find a full breath so that you really feel you're breathing into the sides of your ribs. And also, as you're lying down, you might feel the back of your ribs pushing into the floor. So really try to guide your inhales into the back of your body and all the way into the sides of your ribs. And begin to take longer and fuller inhales and exhales. And with your hands on your body, start to tune into that gentle rise and fall of your breath. And notice if you're still holding tension in your forehead or eyebrows, and try and release as much as you can. We're going to stay here for 4 more breaths, so try and remain mindful and breathe as fully and deeply as you can. Make this your last breath. And then whenever you finish your exhale, draw your knees apart but keep your feet wide and turn your toes out to either side. Let your hands come to rest down on the floor. We'll take the knees over to the left, and as you take your knees to the left, turn your head to the right. Take an inhale to come back up to the center. Moving slowly on your exhale, knees to your right, and turn your head to the left. Keep going with your own timing, breathing in to come to the center, and breathing out, turning your head the opposite way to the way your knees are falling. This is a really nice way to start to get the spine gently twisting. Do 1 more on each side. then bring yourself back to the middle. Bring your feet ever so slightly closer in so that you feel you can push into them and lift your hips up off the floor. We'll do that in a minute, but that's where you want your feet to be so you can lift your lower back up. Take your hands now so your palms are facing down, but your shoulders are tucked under and the back of your neck is heavy on the floor. Push your lower back down into the floor so that the middle back, where your curve of your spine is, lifts up off the floor. So you feel a big pocket of air under your back. And then do the opposite movement. So you're now filling in that gap and scooping your tailbone away from the floor. Good, let's do that again. So flattening your lower back down, finding the arch in your back ever so slightly, and then finding that pocket of air. And then lowering back down, lifting your pubic bone. Once more, inhale, flatten your lower back, push your tailbone down. Find the curve in your spine. Exhale. This time we'll continue that movement. So lift your hips up off the floor. You don't have to come up that high, but start to feel a stretch up your hip flexors, maybe up the front of your body. And then slowly lower down, upper, middle, and lower back. And then again, all the way down till you find the curve in your middle back. Let's go again. Fill in the pocket of air. Scoop up from your tailbone. Push into your feet. Lift, middle, and then upper back off the floor. So it's just your shoulders. Glutes engage a little bit. And slowly articulate each vertebra one at a time as you unroll. Continue to unroll till your lower back's completely flat. And you've got the pocket of air. One more like this. Try and make the movement a little bit bigger this time. And lowering all the way back down, finding each section of your spine having its own moment. And then rock your knees right and left a couple of times on each side. Great stuff. And then take one knee in each hand. Pull them in towards you and start to make big circles one way, like you're mixing a cauldron. And then change direction. And then let's find a slightly deeper twist now. So pull both knees in as you inhale. And then as you exhale, roll all the way onto your left side. Stack your knees, one on top of the other. Use your left hand to hold your knees down and reach back out with your right and turn your head. Breathe into your right ribs here. And you want the feeling you're leaning your weight into your upper right shoulder. And you're using your left hand to keep your knees on the floor. Turn your head to the right as well to complete the twist. Take 2 more breaths. And then use an inhale to come back up to the middle. Take a moment again, one knee in each hand, making some circles. Make sure your spine is straight from top to bottom. And then pull both knees in, inhale. As you exhale, this time roll to your right, hold your knees down and reach back out with your left. Just turn your head as well and breathe into your left ribs. Take one more breath. Good, and then come back up to the middle. Give your knees a squeeze, one in each hand. And then roll back onto your left, just for a minute. Set your right hand down so you can push into it and bring yourself gently back up to the center. And we'll come to a seated position. So you can cross your legs, you can kneel, you can sit up on a cushion, or you can even use a chair if you prefer. And we're going to come into another twist. So whatever position you've taken, cross your left hand across your body and take your right hand behind you. Lift up tall as you inhale and then breathe out as you twist and look over your right shoulder. Try and keep your hips square and twist from your waist. Slight gentle tuck of your chin. One more breath. And then bring yourself back to the middle, and we'll go the other way. So this time your left hand goes behind your back, your right hand crosses over. Sit up tall as you inhale, and look all the way over your left shoulder as you exhale. Each breath in, allow a little bit more height and more length in your spine. Each breath out, tiny bit more of a twist. One more breath. And then bring yourself back to the center. We're going to transition onto all fours. Move slowly, there's absolutely no rush. This is all part of the practice, moving on purpose till you end up with your shoulders over your wrist, your knees under your hips. If you need extra padding, you can pop some cushions under your knees. We'll do some cat and cow breathing here, getting that movement again with the spine. So as you inhale, lift your tail and your chin up to the ceiling, draw your chest forward. As you exhale, push down into your hands, hollow out your belly, round your upper back. Go with your breath, inhaling to ripple through, open the chest, scoop up, and exhaling, spreading your fingers, pushing down with your hands. Let's do one more. Great, and then come back to a tabletop spine. We're going to lift the right arm up to the ceiling, so you can allow your waist to twist. You can lean your hips over to the right as you reach up with your right hand. As you breathe out, take your hand behind your left wrist and reach it the other way along the floor, maybe tapping your head down. Inhale, lift up, open your chest, twist from your waist. As you exhale, stretching behind your left arm, reaching all the way. Once again, lift all the way up, open your heart. Exhale, thread through. We're going to take 3 breaths now in this position, so make sure your neck is comfortable. Left hand pushes into the floor. Feel free to move it so it's in a position where when you push into it, you can lean your hips to the right and feel a stretch up your back. Guide your breath into the back of your body for one more long inhale and a long exhale. And then push into your left hand to bring yourself back up to the starting position. So you want your right wrist roughly underneath your right shoulder. Lift your left arm, twist from your waist. You're opening up into the chest here, drawing the shoulder blade back. And then exhale, thread behind your left wrist, maybe tapping your ear to the floor. Inhale, lift up, open your heart, look up, and exhale, thread through. Last one, inhale, lift up, find a big twist. And then exhale, left hand through, we'll hold it down for 3 breaths. Push into your right hand, draw your hips to the left, and breathe into where you feel this in your body. We'll take 2 more breaths. And then push into your right hand to bring yourself back to all fours. Take your knees a little bit wider than your feet and bring your big toes to touch. Push your bum back to your heels. Stretch your arms forwards and let your head rest onto the floor. Make sure you have a little bit of softness in your elbows, so your arms are relaxed for now. And then we're drawing the tailbone towards the feet. Let your head rest on your mat. Take a few deep breaths into the back of your body, so try and stretch your spine. And then roll on your forehead, right and left. So if you tend to hold tension in this area, it's quite a nice way to release it. If it doesn't work for you, or you're wearing glasses, or you just don't fancy it, you don't have to do this at all. We're going to take 3 more breaths. And if you're moving, find some stillness. And then walk your hands and your upper body around to the left. Keep your hips and your bum towards your feet and stretch forwards into the left till you feel a stretch in your right side. Try and draw your weight back towards your right heel, and you're guiding your breath into your right ribs. Come back to your steady breath. Big inhales, long exhales. And then slowly back the other way. Go as far around as you like till you start to feel a stretch in your left side. Maybe your head rests on the floor. Sink your hips back towards the left. If it feels too deep, you don't have to go so far around to the left. And we'll take big breaths here into the left side. So you could be feeling this in your little finger, you could feel it in your armpit, your left hip, your waist. Wherever you feel it, breathe in. There's no right or wrong. One more deep breath. And then carefully back to the middle. Take a moment or two here in Balasana, child's pose. This time stretch your arms as far forward as you can, keeping the palms of your hands flat on the floor. Reach your hips back towards your feet. Stretch your arms. Take a deep breath into the back of your body. And then keep your hands where they are. Lift up your body and start to draw your chest forwards. Release your legs, untuck your knees so that you can come to lie down on the front of your body. Keep your hands where they were, so they're roughly in line with your chest. Elbows elbows drawing in to your sides. Forehead can rest on the floor. Stretch out your legs and push into the tops of your feet, so your toenails are pushing down. You might find this lifts your knees up off the floor, which is great. A little bit of engagement in your bum cheeks will start to happen as you lift your chest forwards and upwards. Notice if your shoulders have come up by your ears. If that's happened, draw your shoulders away. You want the feeling your heart is bursting forwards and the back of your neck is long. So you want the feeling you're gripping an orange or something between your chin and your chest. Take one more breath. And then exhale, lower yourself back down. Keep your hands where they are. Let your head rest on one side. Take a big breath into the back of your body and sigh it out. Good. Come back onto your forehead. We'll come up again. This time, as you lift your chest, also lift your right foot off the floor. Stretch your leg away, point your toes, draw your shoulders back. If it feels okay, turn your head to look towards your right shoulder. You might be able to see your foot in your peripheral vision. One more breath. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Rest your head on one side. Maybe gently wiggle your hips right and left ever so slightly to free up your back. Take a big breath into the back of your body and sigh it out. And then we'll do the other side. So come onto your forehead. As you lift your chest, lift your left foot. Open your heart. You don't need to come up very high. So you could lift your hands away if you needed to. So you know you're using the muscles in your back to hold yourself up. Don't forget your right foot still straight. Lift your toes, turn your head, maybe see your left foot in your peripheral vision. One more breath. And then this time, use your hands as a pillow. So set them up in front of you so you can rest your forehead or either side of your head down. As you lower down, wiggle your hips gently right and left. And then take a big breath into the back of your body and sigh it out. Do this another couple of times. And take a few moments of stillness and let your body become heavy down into the floor. Try and have your full attention on the sensations of your breath and your body. Notice if you're holding on or gripping anywhere at all, and try and let it go for one more breath. Lovely. And then roll onto one side. So for argument's sake, roll onto your right side so that your left leg is on top. And we'll come into a side balance. So you're resting your head in your hand and your elbow is in line with your shoulder. Your feet are a straight line. You can use your left hand for support in front of you. If you feel at all unstable, bring your feet a little bit further forward and your elbow a little bit further forward, so you're more like a banana shape. If you can keep the balance in a straight line, brilliant. From here, we'll lift the left leg. So bend at your knee and lift up your left leg and take hold of your knee. So you might find your balance a little bit wobbly now, and then pull your knee in towards your chest or your side. You can stay here. If you want to try a hamstring stretch, reach and see if you can take hold of your foot, or the traditional posture, you use your index finger and your middle finger to hook onto your big toe. So I'm bringing my arm in front of my leg. Try and make sure your balance is steady, and then we're working towards lifting the heel up towards the sky. Don't worry if your leg won't straighten. This is about trying to keep the balance on the side of your body, and you'll notice all the little stabilizing muscles or big stabilizing muscles working. If you end up rolling onto your back, it really doesn't matter. Come straight back to the posture. We'll take one more breath. Brilliant. With control, release any grip if you had it. Make your way all the way over onto your front and then onto your other side. So I'm going to flip round so that I don't have my back to you, but stay exactly as you are unless you want to see your screen. So find your straight line, head resting on your hand. We'll take a few breaths with the fingertips in front for support, bending up your right knee. Remember, you can stay right here. A little flex of the bottom foot as well gives you a little bit of a support to hold on to. Not hold on to, but lean into to feel your balance. If you want to, you can start to hold your knee in to draw into your hip. That's a nice hip stretch. Or if you want the hamstring stretch, you're reaching your fingers, either holding your foot, your ankle, your calf, or maybe hooking your big toe, and then working the heel up towards the ceiling. Take 3 breaths wherever you've chosen to be. If this posture is quite strenuous, then come out. There's no need. We're having a gentle session. Shouldn't be causing any stress. One more breath. And with care, release whatever you've got going on with your arms and your legs. And then use your top hand to bring yourself up. And we'll come to kneel. So again, you might want to have something underneath your knees. So face the front of your mat, bring your right leg forward and your left knee back. Take your hands either side of your front foot, tuck your back foot under and just walk your knee back a little bit further so that when you sit up, you've got that big angle and the stretch up your left knee. By all means, use a cushion or double up your mat if your knee is sensitive. Bring your hands onto your right knee and sink into your hips. Again, don't overdo it. You just want to feel about a 60% stretch in your left hip flexor. You might be feeling stuff in your right inner thigh as well. Soften your shoulders. And then lift up your arms, stretch towards the sky, open your chest and breathe into your chest. And then take your right hand behind your left hand onto the outside of your right knee and come into a twist. So stretch back your right arm. Turn your head if your balance is okay to look towards your right thumb. Take one more breath. Great, and then come back to the middle. Set your hands either side of your right foot and then start to push your hips back so that your bum comes towards your left foot. Flex your right foot and we'll come into a hamstring stretch. So your bum is quite high up off the floor. You're leaning forward. Flex your right foot so you feel the stretch up your right hamstring. Don't worry if your back is rounding, but you do want the feeling that your chest is opening. So try and get your chest lifting a little bit more. One more breath. Keep flexing your right foot. Brilliant. And then come back forward. Set your hands down so that you can bring your right knee back next to your left and bring yourself back up to kneeling. If that was a bit hard on your left knee, then definitely use a cushion under your right knee for this one. Left foot comes in front, bring your hands down so that you can slide your right knee back to get that deeper stretch in your hips. Rest your hands on your knee, sink into your hips. Remember, you can stay right here for this whole sequence if it feels best. Breathe into your belly, lift up your arms, stretch your fingers to the sky and open your chest. Take a moment to see if you've gripped your jaw or your neck, and then bring your right hand to the left side of your knee and stretch your left hand back. And if your balance is okay, turn your head to look towards your left thumb. One more breath. Fantastic. Bring your hands back either side of your front foot. Take your bum back towards in the direction of the back of your space and flex your left foot. Again, that feeling of length in the front of your body. And we'll take a few breaths stretching out the left hamstring. Let go around your jaw. Find some freedom in your arms. Last breath. Brilliant. Come out of the posture, so draw yourself forward. Set your hands either side of your left foot. Place your knee back down and bring yourself over onto your bum. Legs come in front. Sit up nice and tall. You can use a blanket or a block or a cushion to sit on if it's uncomfortable to sit with legs straight. You can also bend your knees. So it's quite a lot going on sitting on the floor with your legs out in front of you. So please do adapt. It's not cheating. Your body will eventually learn. Your hamstrings will give you more space. Take an inhale to create length in the front of your body. If it feels helpful, lift up your arms. And then we're starting to hinge forward. So if this is already a lot in your body, it's quite nice to keep your hands behind you so you can push yourself forward. So you really want the feeling you're lengthening your lower belly over your thighs. Depending on how much room your hamstrings allow, you might be able to start bowing forwards, but please don't do anything that doesn't feel right in your body. Try and keep your feet flexed. Take a deep breath in, find a bit more length. And then as you exhale, you want the feeling your chest is coming forwards, wherever you're coming from. Let your knees bend if you need to. We're going to take 5 breaths here. There is quite a tendency to hunch over and bring your shoulders up and really grimace, because let's face it, it can be quite a strong stretch. So really try and free up your neck, free up your shoulders. No judgment here. This is one where people tend to overthink. So take your breath into the front of your body so you can create length. And as you exhale, let go a little bit more. One more breath and make your exhale as long as you can. And then use a breath in. You can bring your hands next to your hips for support. To bring yourself up, let your hands come behind you, open your chest, and take a couple of breaths here, drawing your chest open. It's just a nice counter pose for all that forward bending. And then bring yourself back to the center. Bring your right leg into your left inner thigh. And your left leg is ever so slightly out to the side. flex your foot, angle your waist, so twist yourself so that your chest is coming towards your foot. Again, in this one, it might be helpful to start with your hands behind, push into your fingertips and draw your spine straight. If your knee feels like it needs to bend, let it happen. This might be your posture today, and that's great. We're working towards the chest coming forward. Eventually, the leg will straighten over time. Breathe into it. You might be coming down towards your leg, taking long breaths. So if you've already come quite far forward, you might feel that twist is beginning to happen, in which case bring your right hand over to the outside of your left leg and cross at your wrists. You might be holding your foot or your ankle. What are your shoulders doing? What's your neck doing? We're going to take 3 more breaths. Get to the end of your exhale. And then bring yourself back up. Keep your legs exactly as they are. And we'll twist around to the other side. So you're taking your left hand onto your right knee. So cross it across. Take your right hand behind you. Lift up tall. Inhale. Exhale. A little subtle twist from your waist. Looking over your right shoulder. Kick out through your left foot so that your left leg is really engaged. 1 more breath. And then back to the center. And let's change sides. So this time your left leg is coming in, your right leg's coming out. Little twist from your waist. Maybe you're starting with your hands behind. You're lifting up out of your waist and flexing your foot. This is a great place to start. Big breath in, long exhales. You might find over time your hamstring allows you to lengthen forward. Don't be afraid to bend your knee. You want the feeling of length in your lower back as well as in the front of your body. Shoulders melt away. We'll take 4 breaths. Make this your last breath. And then bring yourself up. As you inhale, we'll come into the twist. So left hand behind, right hand across to your left knee. Draw long as you inhale. Twist from your waist as you exhale. Kick out through your right heel. One more breath. And then carefully back to the center. Lovely stuff. Bring the soles of your feet together. And take your feet quite far away from your body. So we're not doing Baddha Konasana, we're doing what's called star posture. So feet out in front of you. And we're going to come forward and really round the back. So hands come towards your feet. Bring your shoulders up to your ears, no worries. Fold your chin in and let your body start to melt down so that the top of your head is coming in the direction of your feet. For me, I like to bring my elbows outside of my legs. Others prefer to have them in. Your choice. And we're embracing that real dome shape, particularly the upper back, so between your shoulder blades. Let your shoulders spread apart. Tuck your chin. And again, try and breathe into the lower back ribs. We'll take 4 more breaths here. Making this your last breath. And then slowly curl yourself back up. Keep your legs in front of you, but come onto the soles of your feet. Bring your hands behind you, anywhere that feels comfortable so that you can draw your shoulders back and open your heart forward. Maybe start to look up towards the ceiling. Really open the chest. Take deep breaths for one more big inhale and a long exhale. Great, and then slowly come back up. Have a bend in your knees so that you can hug your knees. Maybe you can take your elbows. Draw your chin in, flex your feet, and then slowly start to slide your feet forward. And then we're really rounding here. You might find that your head rests on your knees, so you can bend your knees up to rest your head, and then slowly start to straighten out your legs. And again, we want that feeling of the upper back being round. If your head can't reach your knees, you can grab a cushion. It's just really nice to have your head resting in this one. And then release any holding on in your feet, so let them flop. You might find your toes turn out to either side. We're going to take about 5 more breaths here. Taking longer exhales. One more breath. Really make it count. And then slowly lift your head. Release your arms first. And start to bring yourself back up. Keep your legs in front. Scoot your bum forward so that your knees bend up. Come onto the soles of your feet. And then come down onto your forearms. Get your elbows in a position so again you can really find an opening in your chest. And you can stay right here, or if you want to lift your feet away as well, that's quite a nice way to come into Navasana. So feet together, feet and knees together. Your feet are roughly the same height as your knees, so you're making a little table. If you want to straighten your right leg, go for it. And then the other side, straighten your left leg. And then bend both knees, release your elbows, draw your knees in and gently rock left and right. Make some nice big circles to give your back a rest. And then set your left foot on the floor. We'll come into pigeon, so lying down pigeon. Your right ankle rests on your left thigh, just below your knee. Flex your right foot and open your knee out to the side. When it feels comfortable, lift up your left leg. So everything comes up. You can let your left foot dangle and then reach your hands around the back of your left thigh. Start to draw your legs in till you feel a stretch in your right hip. Keep opening your knee out to the side. So you've got complete control here how much of a stretch you give yourself. Once you feel something, as I say, about 60%, maybe 65%, you don't want to overstretch. Give your shoulders a wiggle. See if you can push your lower back down towards the floor. Close your eyes and soften your face. Take 2 more deep breaths, keeping your focus on your exhale. And then ever so carefully release your legs back down to the floor. Swap sides so that your right foot's down, your left ankle's on your right knee. Flex your foot, open your knee out to the side, and then lift up. Take hold of your right thigh. Let your right foot dangle, and then pull in and lower your back down. Give your shoulders a wiggle so they're not getting involved. A little tuck of your chin so the back of your neck is long. And we'll take 4 breaths here. Make this your last breath. And then slowly release your legs back down. Set them on the floor a little bit away from you. Rock your knees right and left to free up your hips. And then give your knees a squeeze in one more time. Lift your nose to your knees as well. And then take hold of your feet and we'll come to happy baby. So let your head rest back on the floor. If you can't reach your feet, then you can take your ankles or the backs of your knees. And then you want to take your feet wider than your body so that your knees come down either side of you or in that direction. Put pressure on your feet with your hands and start to draw the pressure downwards. Just like in pigeon, unroll your lower back down towards the floor. And then you might want to gently rock left and right. Same thing here, soften your shoulders, they don't need to be doing anything. Back of your neck is long, jaw is relaxed, close your eyes. And take 3 more breaths. And then release, let your legs soften, pull them into your chest again, make some circles. Let your knees actually come away so that you can release your hips and rock them again side to side. If you're near a wall or a bit of furniture, we're going to take legs up in the air now. So it's quite nice to take yourself to a wall and rest your legs up or on an item of furniture. If you haven't got that, or you just rather lie with your legs in the air, please do. We're going to take about 10 breaths. If it's too much to hold, because your abs and your hip flexors take quite a lot when you're not using a wall or a bit of furniture. So you can gently hold the backs of your knees as well for a bit of support. We're going to take 10 breaths, feeling weightlessness in the feet. Feel the back of your head heavy on the floor. And then start to notice if you're holding on still or gripping anywhere where you don't need to be. So often the shoulders are held in space, or the chest. Find your softness. With your back on the floor, guide your breath again into the lowest point, the back of your ribs. And try and elongate your exhale. And we're going to take 2 more breaths here. And then slowly release. If you're up the wall or on an item of furniture, make your way very slowly back to your mat. Let your knees rock right and left a few times. And then with your feet on the floor, bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open out to either side. Make sure your lower back is comfortable. If this is not nice on your knees, ankles or your hips, you can take the leg position we started with, so toes in, heels out, knees bumped against each other. Hands again resting somewhere on your body, shoulders tucked under, chin drawing down, and close your eyes. And we're going to take 3 golden thread breaths. So if you've not done them before, it's an inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, make a little O shape with your lips, like you're going to whistle, but we're not whistling. So you're blowing through your lips, imagining a gold thread coming out of your mouth. And you'll find your exhale can be really quite long when you do it this way. So if you've already started, carry on. We're going to do 3. So take your time, and when you finish your third, simply lie still with a natural breath. And then let your breath return to normal. And start to move carefully into a position where you can end the practice, Shavasana. So you want to be able to completely relax. So if you want to bring your knees back up to the top, you can take the position we started with, or maybe legs out straight, hands by your sides, on your body, anything goes. If you want to add on a jumper, or put a blanket over you, socks, anything you like, anything goes. Close your eyes. Take a big breath in and sigh it out through your mouth. Do this 1 or 2 more times. And then let your breath return to a natural rhythm. And see if you can make a conscious decision to relax every single muscle in your body. So often we're still gripping, holding on, particularly around the throat or the shoulders. Or you might find there's a little bit of subconscious gripping around your hips, your glutes, or your pelvic area. Finding softness around your belly and your back. And take your attention to your chest. See if you can notice your heart beating. Don't worry if you can't. Just know it's there, know it is. And then again, see if you can let go in this space, completely surrender. And then take your attention to all the tiny muscles around your face, your eyes, nose and mouth. You might find you're gripping between your eyebrows, or maybe the inner corners of your eyes, near your tear ducts. See if you can find some softness. Temples relaxed, forehead soft, and the whole of your scalp completely relaxed. And then start to tune into the gentle rise and fall of your breath. And each breath out, let go a little more, so that your body becomes completely relaxed and as heavy as it can be. And notice where your breath is moving your body. It might be your throat, your chest, your belly. Everyone will be different. And then you might be able to feel the air as it enters and leaves your body. And then try and keep your attention on the sensation of your breath and the softness of your body. And now start to deepen your breath and begin to make tiny movements, wiggling your toes, your fingers. Slowly bring your body back to life. You might want to find a stretch, reaching out with your arms and legs, maybe curling in again. And then moving slowly and however feels comfortable in your body, bring yourself upright and let your hands rest in a prayer position in front of your body. And close your eyes. And take a moment again to re-establish the softness in your face, your neck, your jaw, your shoulders. Let your mouth form a smile. And take your hands to your forehead for loving thoughts, to your mouth for loving words, and to your heart for a loving heart. Thank you so much.